that execution.
Well, it's tough to see a Brooklyn carry here because of the amount of oil in the middle of the lane for it to actually cross over. She's looking down at her thumb when she came back, really came around it, and this was the cause of the ball going left of the head pin. Here you can see at 55 feet, the ball was already at the 16th board. Well, the head pin sits at 60 feet, so it didn't have much farther to go.
More speed, and a break there that the 9-pin was kicked out at the very last moment.
The 4-9, that ball breaking extremely hard right at the tail end, and that's why she left the 4-9, but off the wall. See what pin exactly comes along and hits it. Looks like it was the 6th.
Wow. Nice break.
Yes. You don't usually see the 6-pin fly off and hit the 9.
A lot of self-talk being used right now, too. You can see Cheryl trying to settle herself down to make good shots. She's right in the thick of this match. And we are past the halfway point, and Mary Martha leads by 10. Metropolitan Phoenix, the capital of Arizona, is made up of some... She started 38th after the opening round and has qualified in the number 5 position. Leads by 10 pins here over Cheryl-Daniels in match number 1.
Mary Martha, the 1988 LPBT Ebonite Rookie of the Year.
And utilizing almost a fallback shot on lane 18, comes up with another strike.
Well, this is Mary Martha's favorite condition, Denny. She's able to go up and at him, and by that I mean she stands right and throws left. And if the ball has the oil in the center of the lane to hold, it's going to fall back if she happens to pull it a little bit too far.
And let's see if it was just an errant shot the last time on lane 17 that left her staring at the 6-7 split.
Well, it's been extremely warm here all week, Denny, and the players have had a difficult time hanging on to the bowling ball. Mary Martha, perspiration problems. If she gets around it a little bit, it could be because she just had a bad feel.
Well, once again, a shot not exactly what she wanted, but struck through the nose.
Well, it's really been her week, Denny, because when things start going like that, you start building on it. And I talked to Diana Davenport, and she told me that she crossed with her, and she couldn't believe a lot of the things Mary Martha was carrying.
Well, you have to have a little good fortune, and she had it there.
And a big smile. She knows it was a break.
But you're right about capitalizing. You build on those things. If she comes back and strikes a couple more times, she could end up with a game in the 260s. Meanwhile, for Cheryl-Daniels, if she takes it right off the chart, 246 would be her best possible score. But that might not be enough to win match number 1.
And you can see Cheryl-Daniels' last title came in 1989 with Jocelyn Jennings. They won the national doubles.
Not to be this time as Cheryl faces the washout on lane 17, the lane that appears to be hooking a little more of the two.
Again, looking down at her hand, Cheryl just lost that ball, Denny. She came back, she grabbed her rosin bag, and she's trying to keep the feel. Now, when the ball just drops off your hand at the last minute, there's just no way you're going to be able to get the lift and rotation on it.
Is there anything you can do to...
Well, they're trying to do it with rosin, but a lot of times when you use something like that, it builds up on your hand, and you actually get a reverse effect. You may hang up on the next shot. So the players are doing everything they can at this point. A lot of times for amateurs, a wet towel is good. Tommy Baker told me that one time, is to hold on to a wet towel and then dry your hand, and it actually takes off all the perspiration.
For Cheryl-Daniels, an open in the 9th frame, and she trails by 36. Mary Martha could wrap it up quickly. Is she playing it that way, or did she just hang up a little bit?
Well, she came back and went, okay, because she knows she's got area on lane 18, and what are you going to do? If you use it, that's the name of the game. Some players, you've got the area to the right, like Leanne Barrett and Nikki Giannoulias are able to do. For players like Mary Martha, she's got the area to the left.
Possible 266 here in game number 1, and that will get Leanne Barrett's attention, you can better believe. Just one open. That was in the 6th when she left the 6-7 split.
well, two very different styles between Mary Martha-Cerniglia and Leanne Barrett. Now that shot, Mary Martha trying to really get the ball out to the right. She's cleaning the approach with her foot there. There was something on the approach.
Terrific week here in Tempe, Arizona. Pro-Am that saw nearly 300 entrants. Capacity crowds all week long to watch the ladies compete, and a very excellent crowd here for the championship round.
I think I missed a good week to take off, Denny. I might have even averaged 200 out here.
Oh, I have a feeling you might have scored pretty well on this.
Well, I like a little hold area. Give me a little swing. Who doesn't?
Most people do. And a little icing on the cake for Mary Martha-Cerniglia, who puts on a spare shooting exhibition as well.
And an excellent spare conversion. I hate these washouts. I usually throw this head pin right around that 10, but she did it perfectly, right into the 10.
With a strike, a possible 242, a very solid start after the first 5 in a row. So she will advance on to game number 2 to take on the current LPBT Player of the Year, Leanne Barrett. Once again, a little to the right, so back-to-back washouts. It'll be interesting to see how she starts match number 2. Wonder if she was checking the area that time or if that was just not a good shot.
Oh, that's interesting, because she was really trying to go very direct on lane 17. She also made that pretty bad shot on 18 where she went flush, and I think that's what she was trying to change on lane 17. I think she needs to stay at going more direct to the pocket like she was.
For Cheryl-Daniels, a week to build on with the U.S. Open coming up next week at Fountain Bowl in Fountain, California. So it's always nice to make a championship round appearance before a major title.
Oh, exactly. It's just building these ladies' confidence into going into next week. Even though the practice session starts up tomorrow bright and early, and they've got a rough road ahead of them tonight. It's a big confidence booster for them.
And speaking of the U.S. Open at Fountain Bowl, it'll be live on ESPN. Wraps up our spring coverage of the LPBT Tour beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time next Thursday night. Mary Martha will have to stick around for at least one more game. You mentioned that. Nikki Giannoulias is driving over later this evening. I don't know if Cindy Coburn Carroll is or not, or if she's going to fly, but it's a 7 or 8 hour drive from here to Los Angeles.
Well, Cindy told me she was flying. You're right. A lot of these ladies have a tough road.
So for Cheryl-Daniels, a game of 198. And the final score 238 to 198. Cheryl will finish up and head for Los Angeles. Mary Martha